Champions. Oh my lord, what is going on? Tonight we got something so special. I've been stinging to have these guys on, or just someone. And tonight we've got the man, the myth, the legend, probably one of the most consistent bands in Sydney. We have Dan from Red Bee. Say hello, buddy. How are ya?
I'm awesome, man. How are you?
Mate, I am so happy to have you on. Congratulations on the new video clip.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've... Mate,
I've been looking forward to it.
Thank you for coming, because we were talking a little bit off stream and you said you think you knew me from before. And yeah, like I was saying, back in 2008, probably one of your first shows in Hotel Parramatta was that little underground one that was right near the station. We were on the same bill.
Is that so? Was there a band on there that were a bit like Skid Row?
I don't know. I was in a band called Exist Within, but that was my first Red Bee experience, and I will never forget it.
That's awesome. I can't even remember what that show was. Underground in Parramatta.
Yeah, it was right near the station.
Right. Was it a multi-layered place?
Yeah.
Was it a
And they had a little arcade machine.
That's right. Was it the guy that ran the shows at
CJ
Abduction? Was
CJ.
it Abduction?
Yeah, CJ and Lee.
Oh, so good.
Mate, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on tonight.
Awesome.
I have to say that you're a genius.
Oh man.
And I'm not
Definitely not.
Nah,
definitely not. I wish.
Dude, I've non-stop been listening, and what you guys did. How did this new track come about?
Actually, it's a funny old track. That's the way I think of it. I shouldn't say that actually, but the idea was to write something that was more of like a piece of art than so that took you on sort of like a journey and things like that, more so like gotta stop saying
Don't worry about it, man.
yeah, so the idea was that it took a while to write that track. It's just so many different bits and pieces amalgamated together, and I like the idea of it sort of being more like, that would be a particularly hard song to play live. So when we started writing it, that sort of went out the window, and we thought, what about if we just recorded something or wrote a song that didn't necessarily have to be performed live, but was just an entity of its own. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't thinking about, hence why it's got the piano parts, it's got synth parts in it. It's got the most craziest guitar tuning you could ever think of. And that's just forced me way out of my comfort zone. Like the guitar tuning was really bizarre. And I haven't done another song in that guitar tuning. Actually, I'd really like to mess around with it. So, it took a while to write, and it just sort of, we worked on it, and I had this sort of theory. There's like the working title for the song was 5533, because in the middle it sort of goes into this breakdown part, and I came up with sort of like this pattern of fives and threes, and I can't even remember. It made the pattern and the algorithm of that made perfect sense to me at the time, but now I've sort of forgotten, and now it's just a piece of music. So you can actually count fives and threes through that whole section, yeah, I don't know, it just sort of evolved. But then I also like the idea of that, but then some sort of like really big chorus. Like I love, I'm a big Bon Jovi fan, so I just love big sort of big sort of like
Oh, I
hook
love that.
choruses, and I love the idea of like some crazy tech bit slammed up against a big chorus, and then we just had other bits, and it got evolved a bit more when we went and recorded it, and yeah, just sort of over time evolved into what it is. And to tell you the honest truth, I wasn't sure about it. Like I talked to the lads, and I was like, after we recorded it, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to actually release it. Like I was
What?
a bit. I know I was a bit funny about it. I thought
Excuse me.
I felt like I was going for like 100%, but I sort of hit 90 or something. But I think that I'd spent so long on that track, writing it, rewriting it. I rewrote the vocals a few times. Just really went to town on it that I sort of went a little bit crazy in the end, and it just wasn't. I was too involved in it and not enough detached. And one night, I think Jimmy was like, "What are you talking about, man? The track's awesome. Don't worry about it. Let's get it out there." And actually, and I was nervous even just recently when we were putting it out, and yeah, the reception's been amazing. So
Man,
it just goes to show I shouldn't listen to myself.
it would have been literally criminal for you not to bring that track out and release it. I'm so sorry that because non-stop I've been listening to it all week.
Oh, awesome.
And even your older stuff too, it's such you've moved with the times so perfectly. Like,
Oh.
how did you actually have you got a 7 string now? Or did you get a baritone or
No, it's a that one's on a baritone. I've written the tuning down because I keep forgetting it all the time. I'll tell you what the tuning is. The tuning is bizarre, man. I know the low strings and that.
because you could hear
Sorry.
the tone difference. It's such
Yeah,
a
that's a low A in that. So it's really low.
I think you should do a live playthrough.
I would love to. We
I
just need
would
to get
love
it.
to
Yeah.
see it. I would love to see it. Oh, that. But just
We could do it. We could definitely do it. So the tuning goes from low to high. It's A, D, A, E, G, A.
you see, you're a genius.
No,
See, I like you just said letters. Like to me, that was just letters. Like I know it's really low, and especially for like a baritone and stuff like that, because like the dynamic shift I reckon you guys made was really sort of you. You guys are hands down one of the most fun three pieces I've ever seen in my life. Like, no, that is no shit. The energy you guys bring on the stage is just so next level, and the fact that you went from sort of that more thrashier tone and now you've brought out this, it's you've moved so well with the times, but you've kept it red B. Did you find it saying that you were mucking around with that tuning outside of your comfort zone? Did and now using synth, piano, and stuff like that, because that wasn't really something you guys sort of delved into. Was it hard to make that shift?
no, because it wasn't conscious, if you know what I mean. It was like it's always been about with us just to sort of write whatever comes naturally, like, do you know what I mean, and whatever feels right. And sometimes misses and hits, but I've always sort of been into adding more elements into our music and stuff anyway. And I actually piano was my first instrument
Oh
before
wow!
guitar. Um, so it wasn't really even a thought, like just you know, I think when writing music, it's best for me is when I just get out of the way and let it's actually like it's probably not even me really writing it, somebody else in the I don't know in the I don't know in the cosmos somewhere sending it through me. Um,
Wow!
and so yeah, none of that's ever a conscious thing. I think if we were to think like that, and I couldn't do that anyway, but I think if we were to think, oh, we've got to move with the times or any of that sort of stuff, we're just not that kind of people, because it's sort of not, yeah, it's not about that to us. Do you know what I mean? It's about writing what's pure from the heart, and but a lot of work goes into that. Like a lot of work went into that song, a lot of arguments and a lot of this, but then you come out with this this piece. You know what I mean? And but that's really, thanks for the compliment. That's awesome.
Well, no, but that was that. It's funny they actually say that's the way you guys sort of approach your music, because when I was when me and my friend Timmy saw you guys, like that was my old bass player Timmy.
Yeah.
He we were just in such awe of you guys, because you guys were in a whole nother league of your own. Like, and still to this day, I could probably talk to a lot of people in the scene still and say Red B, and they're gonna know. I mean, especially after your Soundwaves thing too and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure a sniffer dog may have stuffed that up for me. But what were you listening to anything in particular during this writing process?
Trying to think back to then. I mean, maybe some things, because I think you listen to some things and they um I'm always like, I'm really influenced by, we're influenced obviously by heaps of bands and heaps of, we love, classics of like Meshuggah and Dillinger um but we've all got such varied tastes. We've all got really different musical tastes. But I also really get into soundtracks and movies, like, do you know what I mean? And that was
Mm.
almost the influence behind it, to be more of like a score. And not that I'd ever say this, even the song even comes close to being a Bohemian Rhapsody, but that was sort of the idea behind it, sort of some big grand statement like that. That was sort of, not that it would even, I feel embarrassed even just saying it near that, because that's an absolute masterpiece,
No,
that
man, you
song,
got to aim high, and for a three piece, and this is one thing I have to reiterate, is that this is the biggest sounding three piece I've ever heard in my life. Like, I cannot stress this, and somehow you went bigger.
Oh man, that's
Like,
awesome.
and that's, I don't know if you saw my reaction video. I was
I
like,
did it. Could you send it to me? Because I'll share it.
I'll cut it,
Oh, can you please?
Yeah, I'll cut it and I'll share it. I'll cut it and
Oh,
I'll
can
send
you
it to you.
please?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will,
please. Because
because
yeah, I love it.
you gent as a three piece, and that's like, for someone that listens to gent music and stuff like that, you really hit the nail on the head with that track.
Oh,
I'm
thank.
really interested to. Is it going to have any more influence on maybe the next album or EP, or are we going to see more of that tune? Like, are you going to? Because if that's outside your comfort zone, that was too comfortable. Like, that did not. That seemed so seamless and natural.
Oh,
Can we
that's
expect
awesome.
more?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. We're working on stuff at the moment that's again a little bit different. Like, you know what I mean? So I would love to do more stuff like that, but then also then we can go the absolute opposite way of like wanting to be like, Rage Against the Machine, where it's just a band in a room playing. That so constantly we constantly sort of moving and changing all the time. We're working on again, I find tunings and learning and trying to keep sort of, we've been working on some new material now that's in like a dadgad tuning, but a half step down. So it's like a C sharp dadgad tuning, but uh it's different again, you know what I mean? It's like some of the stuff is like, some of the stuff's got like a Stone Temple Pilots feel, and then other stuff has got like a thrash feel, and it's just whatever sort of comes, and just, and that's sort of like what we've always done. It's like, it's strange, sort of. I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. I've lost my train of thought, but I don't think. I think we just sort of do what the universe is telling us to do. I know that sounds super lame, but that's sort of just how it works.
Man, if you're getting those sort of messages, why not listen to them? Like the.
A lot of this stuff like is being written as a three piece in a room. I think that was our big thing, like, because I mean, a lot of music's getting written on a laptop with drum machines and all that sort of, not drum machines, but drum program,
No, drum
drum
machines.
libraries
They're
and
drum
all
machines. If it's not a drummer, it's a machine.
that. That's right. And where I do that a lot anyway in my little home studio, and I love it. But I really like the idea of getting back to the idea of us three in a room. I'll come in with sort of the bones of something, and then we just get in there and yell at each other until we sort of have it right. Like, we haven't really done that. Silent Enemy was sort of more the other way, where we were trying to, stuff was written and then it would be brought in, and then we really, we worked on it more on computer and things like that all together. But this, it always seems to me like my favorite songs that we do are the songs that we do in a room together, like, and we really, everyone has their equal input. It makes it can be challenging because, I it can be challenging because of that, that how you have to go through sort of, conflict, as in what you want and what, everyone's got their own opinion on what, but it's a beautiful way to go through it. And a lot of the time, like, you know what I mean? It feels good, and you just know it when you're in there smashing
It's
it
organic.
together.
It's purely
It
organic.
is, isn't it?
It is. No, I completely agree. Like, there's
And I
nothing...
start thinking no click tracks and none of that stuff and no editing, you know what I mean?
No, click tracks are too important. Only for your drummer. Just shove him in your drummer's ear, and he's the only one that needs to listen to him.
I just love the idea of it sort of moving, I mean,
Yeah.
those old albums. I mean, maybe this is just the trip I'm going through, but you get to the chorus and it either speeds up or it slows down, and it's that natural.
Whatever you're feeling on the night.
Yeah, exactly, man. And those old Led
feel
Zeppelin albums and stuff, they're all 100% natural.
Well, it's funny
But
that you say that when you talk about well, there's a massive difference when you get a live album in comparison to a studio album.
And it's funny you say it, because I've been listening to live albums lately, because I think, oh, that's so cool if you can just get past it, because we're so used to hearing everything perfect, and
Overproduce.
yeah, overproduced, which I love as well. I love well-produced music, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just, exciting.
Oh, mate. We got some chatters in the room. Ivan
Have we?
Bonilla. Yeah, how you going? Thank you for joining in. We've got Broken Computer.
Awesome.
Slow Dive Suvlaki. I don't
Oh,
know.
legend. What a legend.
Oh, man.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Mate, thank you. I'm just... It's such a weird thing watching, because I've pretty much watched it. Like, you guys come so far and remain so consistent. And then on top of that, you guys are all the super nice guys. Like, I remember Jimmy Silk. Jimmy came out one night and watched us play a show at the Tattersalls Hotel. Yes. Such a... Like, how do you guys find the scene at the moment? Obviously being in it for 15 years now. How do you find there's a massive shift at the moment?
Well, obviously, because of COVID, I mean, there's everything's changed. But before COVID hit, I think we're always of the opinion we're just grateful to play. Like, we're lucky to be up there. I mean, we could be living in bloody the Ukraine now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mate, 100%.
And I just feel lucky that I get to get up there. And if there's one person there, that's cool. I'll still play hard and go for it. And if there's 100 people there, I'll play hard. Exact same. Like, yeah. So I think we've always just felt grateful, and it's a camaraderie with all the bands, and I love it. I love it. I love
such a
playing shows
humble
and getting
outlook,
out.
man. That's such a humble outlook. Considering the career you guys have had, like what you guys played with Seether,
Yeah,
you guys
for
opened
sure.
for Trapped, you guys done the
Yes.
Soundwave thing. There's a whole bunch of other bands you guys have opened for.
Yeah.
This is why I say, hands down, you're probably one of the most underrated bands in Australia.
Oh, thanks, man.
No, like
Thanks.
I've been absolutely stinging to get you on, like get something of Red B on here, because I love it. I know a whole lot of other people that love it, and it just when you talk, you were saying before that when you wrote this new track, you were talking about a lot of 5s and 3s. Do you look at a lot of your? I know you're saying that you you try and take what the universe gives you as far as your music is concerned. But when it sort of comes down to the nuts and bolts of it, is it a mathematical process, or like are you one of those mathematical metalheads, or
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, so there's when I say like the universe gives it to me, that's usually those parts where it's like, boom, I've got a chorus in a second. Like, not in a second, but I write it real quick and it's there and it's thing. The other stuff can take time. Like that's just the way it is. But I've always been, ever since I was young, intrigued with time signatures and intrigued with numbers, and we all are actually in the band. And excuse me, geez. So that part was, and I can't even remember how that part came about. But what would have happened with what did happen with that part was I would have got some sort of graph paper and wrote out some sort of pattern. And at the time when the patterns come to me, they just sort of there'll be blocks and for some reason I just put the numbers in order, different orders, and they start making sense to how the rhythm of the numbers is meant to go. And then I'll flip it and do different stuff with it, and then put that to a riff, you know what I mean? And put that to certain notes, like how could I?
so is
And
it more
then
like a tab sort of format that you'll lay it out in?
no, it's actually like no, it's like a yeah, it's more like a graph paper with X's and ones and things like that, and then I'll sort of put it. That was with that sort of piece, but it started from there's a part in the middle of the song, so you can go, that's the fives and threes, just that's the five, and then anyway, I won't go into it, but yeah, at the time it sort of yeah, it's hard to describe. I just sort of go off into these tangents and just sort of yeah, write these tech, and those a lot of the time I know exactly what I do, and Dunny just copies it, and Jimmy copies it as well with the kick. So that middle part actually, where it's that sort of number stacking, that can like take up to 2 months to get down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because Jimmy
Wow.
does it. Jimmy does it differently. Like Danny will write the whole thing out. He'll write it out like music notation, whereas I'll do it on some graph pad, and then Jimmy will learn it by ear. So we've got these three different people sort of learning it different ways.
Holy
And I remember it taking us ages to get that bit down. And
This is what I mean when you guys are on another level. And like anyone that meets you guys knows that it's weird. It's like it's beyond the music with you guys. It's more than that. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. I just
yeah,
but
no, it is because it's we love, it's a love, like, it's we love it. Even if we're the last people on earth, we'd still be doing it. I think that's a good sign. You know what I mean? We're not doing it for any other reason other than
yourselves.
yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, I think that's it.
Well, I think art is really, at the end of the day, like any artist, is it's an expression of oneself, and then it's up to people whether or not they absorb take
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
expression.
it's out of
So
your hands in a way. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's like you're releasing a letter to the universe, and it's just up to the
Yeah,
universe whether it accepts it or not.
100%. And yeah, that's why when you said, "Oh," before, I'm going to play an intro, and I said I'll take my headphones off because by the time we get done with the song and it's fully recorded and we've listened to the mixes and we agonize over the mixes and then agonize over the mastering, um, it's almost like I can't ever listen to it again. It's all right to play it live, but I can't listen to the recording
Yeah, I
again.
get that. You can, well, yeah, I guess
But you
'cause
would you would know what that's like from
I
your
don't
band.
like listening to my music. No, not at all. Not at all.
It's weird, but if you
But
get,
I'm not as good as you. So
oh, don't be stupid, don't be silly, man. No way. Um, and but if it's funny because you can get some, and then I had the thing the other day where our track "Silent Enemy" came on, and that I hadn't mustn't have heard it for about 2 years. So we play it all the time live, but and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. It was a good feeling when I was listening. I was like, this sounds really great. Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, that was good to sort of feel because yeah, I don't know. I just sometimes you sort of get a bit removed from it, and it's a nice surprise to actually go. You know what? It's cool. It's all good.
That's good, man. It took a bit. It took a bit of time, but you eventually got there. It's like you got to forget. You forget the recording session, and then you can.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, yeah. And our recording sessions are always there's always issues. Like, I think they're always hard because I'm pretty hard to work with in the studio, as in that like I really know what I want, and it drives, you know, and I love working with producers as well. So it's sort of we always sort of butt heads
That's
quite a lot.
mate. That's what good art takes.
But I think yeah, I think
Can't
it
have
does,
yes man,
yeah.
man. You can't have yes man.
No, that's right, and it's great. And sometimes I'm wrong, but it's always like after you've worked with someone for quite a while, you grow quite close to them
So-
because it's like.
Did you work with the same producer on this new track?
No, we didn't. We worked with Matthew Templeman, but we co-produced this one ourselves. So it was he produced it with us, and then we actually did it in the mountains. He was really good. He does like he came over from Western Australia to do it with us, and it was a really good experience. We actually recorded 3 songs. So we recorded "Killing Time," which is, have you seen that music video?
Yes.
It's the one where we all kill each other. um, Beautiful Wreck, and we've got one more that we haven't released yet from that group. Color Christ. So that's going to probably come out hopefully within the next month or 2.
Wow.
And that one's like real techie,
Oh, really?
real tech. Yeah, just crazy shit.
Far
Fast,
out.
heavy, fucking crazy.
Mate,
Lots of bits.
if you get any faster, your fingers are gonna fall off your hands, man. Like,
That's Dunny. It's not me. My right hand's slow, man. My right hand's slow.
has Jimmy brought a bit more distortion to his?
Yeah, he's always got
wow.
new stuff going on. Yeah.
Because it's just that, like I said, it's a massive like this new track is just like such a big. Where did the concept for the video come from? Because it's a beautiful video.
Thanks. So that's the video. We didn't have. So we work with a guy in the mountains called Jackson Samuel, and he did the Killing Time clip. He also did the Chasing Shadows clip. And to tell you the honest truth, this is a classic. The idea was we've been sitting on the songs for a while, and we wanted to put it out, and so we saw a couple of bands who like just doing very simple visualizers. You know what I mean? Where it's just a sort of static sort of
Image.
and but it still sort of moves, and that's what all we were going to do. And then he just went down the rabbit hole with it, and the next thing we know, he said, this is what I'm thinking," and he gave it to us, and we were like, basically all I said was because I don't like to talk about lyrics of songs too much, but I gave him what my concept of the song is, and he went with it and just really went, and he nailed it. Like, I remember the first time watching, I got a lump in my throat, man. I almost started crying. Like, it was weird. It's not weird, it was good.
Oh, it's an epic video. It tells a beautiful story. Would you mind actually telling us what concept you gave him?
Yeah, so the idea is I don't want it to sound, I won't go too into it because sometimes it maybe for me takes a bit of the magic away, but it's about 2 people and or 2 objects that are sort of they should be together, like, and I keep saying the word universe tonight, but the universe wants them together, but no matter what, they find their way together and then split apart just to find their way back together again, and that keeps happening until finally, unfortunately, they don't make it.
Wow. They really hit the nail on the head on that video.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
really, like, just lyrically, it's beautiful. Your
Yeah.
voice is just so. One thing I really like about the band is that you haven't subjected yourself to the whole screaming aspect of metal.
No, I can't scream. So
Has there ever been the thought of either learning or bringing in? Like, has the universe told you to get?
Not really, no, I don't think so. I just I was never good at it. Like I used to think, man, I wish I could scream, but it's just not me. Like, do you know what I mean? I think that's what makes us who we are, is we just do
Hundred
what,
percent.
yeah, we do what we can. And yeah, sometimes I think, oh man, wouldn't that sound good with a big roar behind it? But yeah,
Doesn't need it.
no, it doesn't, man. And
It
that's,
doesn't.
and yeah, I think the more, because we've been playing together for a long time, we sort of know. I don't know. Yeah, we're getting better at what we do, I suppose. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, and this is what astounds me. Like, you guys just you are the gift that keeps on giving as far as Australian music goes. I'm sorry to make you spit out your coffee.
Ah, it's water. It's all good. It's
Oh,
too late for coffee.
they missed that. That was on my ugly head. But no, you guys are like, how during COVID and stuff like that has where is the time with your busy schedule with your life
Yeah,
and the drive that comes behind it? It must be a real juggling act. How do you manage this?
it is a juggling act. I don't know. It's just, we've all got good families and supportive partners that, that this is what we do. And we just, I don't know. It's a good question. I sometimes feel like it's like chaos, like, but I love the chaos of it. Like, we've all got little ones, and yeah, the chaos. But I sort of, yeah, I just, I used to be the sort of guy that would have to, you know, if I want to write a song, I've got to be sitting on a mountain, in the mist or something like that. But now it's like, dude, if I get like, a half an hour to duck off to a corner of a bedroom, I've got guitars everywhere and amps in each room, and I'll just plug in and, just try to get creative, and yeah, we
Inspiration
just
doesn't have a
make it happen.
clock.
Yeah, oh, totally, man. You just got to keep going as well. Like, I find that I've read a few books on it, and you sometimes you just got to sit around, or you've got to sit down and make inspiration come to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and the more you work on that muscle, the more better you get at it. You know what I mean?
100%. Man. Oh, dude. You guys are literally. There's been no pretty 99.9% sure there's never been a lineup change with you guys.
No, so I mean, me and Jimmy have been playing a while before we met Dunny, but and really, um, so we were Red Bee before Dunny, but really the band started again when Dunny joined, and we sort of kept the name and just scrapped all the old songs and started again, and that was like in 2006, 7, I want to say, I think 2007, and it's it wouldn't be. It's us three. So if one of us was to leave, it wouldn't be Red Bee. Like, we wouldn't be able to keep going. You know what I mean?
Wow. So it's family. That's literal family.
100%. We've been through everything together.
Well,
We really have.
pretty much 15. Well, now that you're saying 2006, 2007, it's probably more like 17 years you guys have been together.
Yeah. Wow. That's
You guys
crazy.
have toured. Or where you guys have done full East Coast.
Yeah, we've been pretty much. The only place we haven't been is we haven't been Northern Territory. We haven't been Western Australia. But the thing is, we did lots. And I still love it. We've got shows coming up actually in April, but we love the rural, like going rural. So, like, out to places where, Bathurst, Orange, Dubbo, all those, Wagga Wagga, all those sorts of more rural places where I remember I forget the name of the town. We played in classic places, where it was a Chinese restaurant, then turned into like a nightclub in the night, and you just set the stage is the same level as the, there's no stage, in other words. But we really liked that, and I feel like that was really we did a lot of that playing, a lot of touring like that, and we loved it, and it was real. You'd have to set up your own, um, the PA was bad, so it just made us a really gig hardened band, like and just
Yes,
yeah,
mate. And at the end of the day, if you can sound good on a shit PA,
yeah, totally. Or no PA, like what I mean, just in
that's
the
it.
corner somewhere. And
And
we
then
used to
what?
cut our teeth out at Lithgow as well, like and
Oh,
just everywhere, man.
that's good. That's really
Hmm.
good, man. How
Yeah.
are you finding the energy levels now?
What's that like? What do
Because
you
you
mean?
guys are
Just
I'm like, you guys get a high intensity show.
oh yeah, I've got no control over that, so that's just
Yes,
that's the same.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
that just
so
something
good.
happens when we just hit that first note.
Well,
Just you do what.
it's almost like you transform when you have that guitar in your hand and you're in front of that microphone. It's like you transcend yourself into a new entity. I don't know. It's like you got this. All three of you have this massive blue aura around you. It's probably lighting, but
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it's good.
I
It's good.
man, I ask this to everyone that I have on the stream. For any aspiring bands out there, what is your like? What is the mantra that gets Dan Silk just to keep plugging away at the music?
Oh man, that's a hard question. Because I don't even think about it like that. You know what I mean? It's
Like, do you
like
ever
it's
get a
just
lull day where you're just like, man, and then it's just something like, is just this cliche one liner?
um oh, I don't know. Sorry, mate. I don't know. I think for me it's because it's just like I've got to do it no matter what. Like, do you know what I mean? And if it's a crap day, I get pretty down. Like if I sometimes I think, oh my God, I'm never going to write a good song again, and then all of a sudden something will happen. You know what I mean? So it's that idea of just you've got to turn up. I suppose you just got to
Mate,
turn up and make it happen. Like
there you go. That's it.
yeah,
Just do it.
just do it. Yeah,
Just
it's so true, man. Like
yeah.
it's the only way. It's the only way. But like but there's other days there where there's, even today I sat down to do some writing and it was just like not happening. You know what I mean? It just was, and that's cool as well because now I'm a step closer to getting to where I need to get to. Do you know what I mean?
100%. You've done what you not wanted to do. Now you're going to do what you want to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
With every
yeah,
failure, you're one step closer to success.
yeah, totally. And success is that thing where it's like all of a sudden, boom, it's like, writing and I'm excited about the song and I love that. I just that to me that's the fun. That's and playing live because it's so much fun. But I get quite nervous before I play live. But
The second you don't
writing,
love it anymore.
yeah, totally, man. I get really nervous before we play live. Actually, a bit of an issue,
It's a good
but at
thing.
the same time, I love it. At the same time, it's a bit bizarre. Hey, you
No,
probably.
I do. I completely. Man, I used to throw up. I used to throw up
Oh, that's
before.
brutal. Hey, you poor
Yeah,
bugger.
yeah, yeah. But that was just me. That was just my anxiety that I used to have to deal with. And as soon as I do it, I feel so good. Man, I get the shakes before I do the
Oh,
streams.
so do
I
I.
get
And
the
you
shakes
feel like
before.
your hands are like, oh, so do I. I've even got it now still. Like I'm
Yeah,
just
like so. I
nervous.
know I still love doing. Like I love doing this. I love talking to musicians like you and picking your brains and because at the end of the day, you guys do all the hard work. I'm just here to find out what's going on.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's nice, man. It's nice.
Because
Nice.
and I really hope you enjoyed yourself.
I dab, man. Totally.
Awesome. We
Totally.
I won't keep you much longer because I know you got stuff to do.
Oh, good, my friend.
Before we go though, you said you had shows. Tell everyone when your shows are, if you
Like
remember.
it's only two shows, but it's better than no shows.
Exactly.
So we've got April 22nd is in Canberra.
Basement.
Um, the basement, of course. I love the basement, man. So we've got that, and we've got April 30th in Bathurst.
Oh, that's
It's
where
in
my auntie's
Coolbet.
from.
Yeah. So, and then hopefully, like, we can start looking at doing some shows or maybe like a little tour at the end of the year. But like I said, we're in writing mode at the moment, and we've got another song that's going to come out, and yeah, it's awesome.
I cannot wait. I
Yeah, man,
cannot wait.
I'll send it to you if you want.
Please, please, and
Yeah, I
I
will.
will cut that reaction video and I'll send it
Please
to you
do,
too.
because we've got a reaction. We've got one reaction video. It is so awesome.
Yeah.
It's from India, and the couple that do it are so awesome. I love
Oh,
it.
you got to send me that.
Yeah, oh,
I'll
it's
do a
so
reaction
good,
video
man.
to that reaction.
Yeah, yeah, it's so good, man. It is awesome.
I'm very drunk in that reaction video, though. But
That's cool,
in
man.
saying that, from Red B is just, I cannot wait for the explosion. We need bees to make the world work, man. So,
That's it, man.
Dan, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for taking the time. I know you're a very busy man, and I'm sure,
Much.
dude, this is the whole point. You waffle on as much as you want. It's all about getting your brain out there because it's one hell of a brain.
Thanks. Oh, thanks. It's just like yours, brother.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Man, I am going to aim to have you back on as soon as that new track comes out. Please. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. I really, really appreciate it, man. Man, mate, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and then I will leave links to Red B so you can check out all their stuff on Spotify, all their stuff on YouTube. They have a very vast collection of music and video clips spanning over the time that they've had. Dan, thank you again.
Thanks, brother.
And to all you beautiful people out there, I will see you next week.